Hello and welcome to another one of my videos. Now today I'd like to look at something a little bit different, and that is a British civilian ration. Now this is made by a company called Ration. So let's get this on a table and see what this pack contains. Now, I have here on the table this British Civilian Ration X MRE. It is a self-heating ration, says on the pack, and this particular one is the Menu A all-day breakfast. It is made for EVAC 8. There is the website there, if you can just see that. And it comes in a sturdy Ziploc bag. So, what do we have in here? Nice useful Ziploc bag, many uses when you're out in the field. As always, a very impressive set of contents. So I'll just move the bag out of the way, and I'm starting to move these to one side, running out of room before I even start. So we have an isotonic drink powder, and this particular one is exotic flavour. So there is the standard drinks. There is a nice FRH, nice large FRH to accommodate most size pouches, and a big heating pad. Just slot that in there. We have a powder mill hot chocolate. I'm sorry if we're getting a little bit of reflection there. I noticed there's quite a lot of glare today coming from the lights. I'll do my best to keep it off. We have a cereal bar, salty cashew. That's the first time I've seen the salty cashew flavoured cereal bars. We have a little accessory pack with the good old British Army style spork. I shall open that in a moment. We have a packet of the old sweets or candies. Again, very similar to the old style mixed British Army rations, but these have got Ration X, if you can see that there, all over them. There is a Millennium vanilla flavoured energy bar. Put that to the top there. And of course, we have the mains, and this particular case is the all-day breakfast. So while I've moved that and swapped that round, we'll have a better look at the accessory pack. So as we just said, we have the British Army style huge spork. There is a antibacterial wet nap. We have some Finest English breakfast tea, so there's a tea bag. There is a powder mill continental freeze-dried coffee. I'm glad that's a continental. I'm not a fan of the Colombian, so we're going to see if the continental blend is a better style of coffee. And a powder mill whitener and 2 sugars. So that is the contents of this Ration X Menu A all-day breakfast. So let's get these on a tray and see what they look and taste like. So as you can see, I now have everything laid out on the tray, and I think I'm going to start where I normally start, and that is with the drinks. I do have a isotonic beverage. There is some drinking chocolate and a coffee. I don't think I'll make the tea in this instance because there'll be too many drinks in one go, but I'm going to start with looking at this exotic flavoured isotonic drink. It does tell you you can mix it in the bag, tear off the bag, mix in the bag and shake, but for demonstration purposes I have a glass, so we shall use the glass. Now, very nice smell coming from there, a mixed sort of fruit smell. So empty that into the glass there. find my bin. And it is a light orange coloured fine powder. I'm just going to bring in a US MRE spoon to help me with these drinks. I do have the British style, but that bowl, as you know, is a little bit big for some of the smaller work, so I'll just mix this with some cold water. And I'll give it about a glass. It feels very granular. Feels like there's a lot of natural sugar there, which is going to take a little bit of dissolving in cold water. Rinse my spoon. And I'd like to take a look at this powder mill traditional hot chocolate. So just a hot chocolate, hot cocoa style drink. Again, powder mill in the UK is a very familiar sort of vending machine, cafe bar sort of brand. So it's a chocolate there. I can see some milk powder in it. And we've got some hot water on standby for that one. And I suppose I could have put the coffee in the chocolate to make a mocha, but I do want to try this Continental brand, so I shan't on this occasion. I do have another variety of these in stock, so maybe next time. And I'd like to have a look at this powder mill Continental freeze-dried coffee. So I'm going to make it straight as I like it with the whitener and the sugar, but the coffee is a medium looking roasting colour, large granule. And to give it the best chance, I'll put the whitener. There's only one whitener, there is two sugars, I'm assuming one for the coffee, one for the tea. And the sugar. And again, we'll bring the hot water back. And we'll make this about half a mug to give it the best sort of chance. Okay, it's nicely dissolved. Took a little bit of stirring to dissolve there. Those granules were quite firm, quite coarse. So on this instance, I shan't be using the tea, so I'm just going to move the tea out of the way with the spare sugar. I'll review those in the next one of these I do. I think I'm going to work my way around. There is a wet nap on standby should I need it, and we've got a salty cashew cereal bar. Now I've had many of these cereal bars, but I don't think I've ever had a salty cashew variety, so we'll have a look. Very typical sort of a Rifo style, British Army style cereal bar, but as I said, I've never had the salty cashew, so that'll be a nice one to try. We'll open the bag of mixed sweets or candies, depending on what part of the world you're from. Just bring in my old trusty knife for this one. And they are individually wrapped little candies or sweets. There seems to be a red berry, an orange and a lemon. So I'll just drop a couple of those there, just ready for trying. And we have a Millennium vanilla flavoured energy bar, and this itself is supposed to be 400 calories. I didn't check on the pack, but I would imagine that puts this whole meal well over 1,000 calories if it's 400 just in this energy bar. So this is a vanilla. So let's see if I can find an opening strip. There's a little tear strip at the top there. So that's a nice compressed block. Nice compressed block there. And of course, I'm just going to move these around a little bit, keep the sweets all together. we have the mains. This is the all-day breakfast. The writing has smudged a little bit in the boiling process, but it looks again very similar to the standard British Army pouches. It seems to be having a little bit of difficulty ripping, so we'll try this way. Very tough pouch, doesn't want to tear. So there is the baked beans I was expecting, and a load of other contents there, so we'll just pour these onto the tray. Obviously it does say you're meant to eat it out of the pouch, and ordinarily you would, but that doesn't make for a very good demonstration. So that's the contents of the pouch there. So where do we start? I think I'm going to start with the drinks and take a look at this continental coffee. So it's a dark, medium dark looking roast. Light smell, and once again it's that very familiar low quality instant coffee. It is a warm, comforting coffee flavoured drink, but again I don't think this is actually a quality brand, quality flavour, but on a cold day that would certainly do the job as a coffee. It's not the best. We'll take a look at this drinking chocolate. There's a little bit of chocolate floated to the top there. Like the coffee, not the best quality. It is the same company, powder mill. Not as rich and deep as you traditionally get in a British ration, but it is a good, decent tasting hot chocolatey drink. If I was making that, I'd just put a little bit more of the drinks powder in, but overall it's a fair attempt at a hot chocolate drink. Now let's try this exotic juice drink. Very much what we've come to expect now. Artificial, not a hint of natural fruit flavours in there. A mixed fruit flavoured artificial drink, but that said, it is a nice tasting, decent cold drink. You just know there's nothing natural about it, but that still doesn't mean it doesn't taste nice or taste good when you need a refreshing mouth cleanser. So where should we move on to now? I think we'll go straight on to the mains. Now, all day breakfast, so this is referring to an English breakfast, I would imagine, because there is baked beans, which is very traditional on an English breakfast. I think there was little bacon, I think in the beans there was a little bacon cube, so beans and bacon, sausages, some little sausages, and I think this is an omelette, also egg. So yes, typical English style, just presented slightly different. Let's have a taste first of those baked beans. So typical baked beans in look. The flavour of the sausage is permeated through those. Let's try a little bit of the sausage. A little piece of the sausage there. And there's another bit so you can see. The sausages are soft, very similar to the hot dog, fairground hot dog style sausage. Beans and wieners, I think the US call them. I'm sure you'll know what I mean by that phrase. But very typically a tinned, canned sausage. This is what's supposed to be a little piece of omelette, I think, a bit of egg. Everything has the same taste. There is some bacon, little bacon cubes there. All the flavours are very much intermixed. You cannot distinguish between the flavour of the sausage, the flavour of the bacon, the flavour of the omelette. Very typically what happens to tinned or canned meals of this kind, but that does not mean it is bad tasting. There is plenty of salt, plenty of pepper, plenty of flavour. The individual flavours are not there, but I keep saying the word but, it's still a very pleasant, very pleasing baked bean dish. Would certainly be happy to receive that out in the field, no problem, but there's that but again. Don't expect to taste the individual flavours. All of the flavours have combined, and the whole dish, whether you're eating the sausage or the bacon, tastes exactly the same. But it's still a very enjoyable, tasty meal. Now, moving on to the Millennium Bar. I will come back and I will be finishing this. So this, I'm not going to have too much of this at the moment. This is the 400 calorie vanilla flavour energy bar. Compressed looking wheat, I would say, wheat flour bar. Let's have a taste. The texture of a very dense cookie, chocolate chip cookie, that sort of texture, but very compressed, very dense flavour. The vanilla is very delicate in the background. A lot of natural sugar. You can taste the sugar granules, you can crunch the sugar granules. Very simplistic tasting, very sweet, very reminiscent of a heavily compressed cookie, but that said, that still means has plenty of energy, plenty of flavour, and you wouldn't be disappointed with that. And certainly 400 calories, has a lot of energy in that bar. So walking along, needing an energy boost, top pocket of your jacket, very nice bar to munch on as you go. Very flavoursome. Now the salted cashews, let's have a look at that. It's sticky, it's soft, crispy. The flavour of the nut takes a little bit of time to develop. I don't get the impression there was a lot of cashews in there. Slight saltiness to the nuts. Very nice though, very sticky, very sweet. You know that's energy packed, and it's just going to give you a tremendous energy boost when needed. Very enjoyable breakfast cereal type bar. Slight nutty flavour, not overpowering. Again, another tasty, energy rich, chewy bar. Let's have a look at this anti-bac. Hands all sticky now. Anti-bac wipe. So it feels actually soapy. This particular one feels like it's got a soap, and it's got quite a strong fragrance. I don't know if you can see the soapy frothy there. Feels like it has like a moisturising cream. Personally, that will really clean your hands, but I think it would leave, I don't know if you can see, leave like a moisturising film. Probably not what you really want when you're eating. Maybe better to use after you finished eating. But it is a soapy, clean feeling, clean smelling. Just try and rub that off there. and it feels like it might even have some sort of moisturiser in there, keep the skin nice and fresh from the antibac. Perhaps an after meal wipe as opposed to a before meal wipe, but certainly cleansing. Now we have 3 varieties of these candies. I shall just go for one flavour today. I do like red berry. Obviously that is an orange and a lemon, so let's see what this red berry is. Could be a raspberry, could be a black currant, individually wrapped with the Ration X logo. Nice, large, thick, quality looking what we call a lozenge or candy. Black currant. Instantly the flavour was there. The moment you put it in your mouth, plenty of flavour, very sweet, very tasty, very instantly recognised as black currant, so that would be a very good lemon and orange. Firm, sweet, good size, good quality, lots of flavour. Unfortunately, I just need to remove that from my mouth for a moment while I finish the video. Just a mouth cleanser. Quite tart. Once you've had one of the candies, it actually makes you emphasise how tart the juice is. So, quick recap. Coffee and drinking chocolate, very typically, in my opinion, powder mill. By that I mean it's cheap quality, not the best you're going to find out there, but it is the flavour of a coffee, it is the flavour of a drinking chocolate, and most people would recognise that. If you don't expect too much from that, you'll still be pleased to enjoy one of those on a cold day. The isotonic drink, after eating one of the fruit sweets, the fruit candies, it emphasises it's quite tart, but artificial flavoured, but still very nice flavoured water drink. There's no actual fruit in there, and it doesn't even give the impression there's any fruit, but it's still a very pleasant tasting cold drink. Now the mains, there is sausage, baked beans, ham, egg in the style of a little piece of folded omelette, but all of the flavours have totally integrated. There is no distinction. I could put that in my mouth and without the actual texture you wouldn't be able to distinguish between the sausage, the bacon, the egg or the tomato, but it is still very enjoyable, filling, comforting, well salted, peppered dish. I certainly wouldn't complain too much about being given this on a cold day. I've described the flavours the best I can, but it's still a filling, and for me a still enjoyable meal there, if not a little messy. The wipe a little bit over soapy and over scented, but you do get the impression it is a good quality moisturising cleansing wipe, just probably better used after the meal as opposed to before, so you don't get the flavour on your fingers. The energy bar, compressed cookie, plain cookie, very small background flavour of vanilla, but it is certainly sweet and it's not unpleasant. Nice energy pack bar, very nice to stick in your top pocket and take a bite of as and when you feel your energy levels going down. The salted cashew cereal bar, first time I've tried that particular flavour. Very typical Orifo military style cereal bar, but this time with a little hint of salted nut. Very nice, very enjoyable, very sweet as always. A very pleasant, chewy, sticky piece of energy. And the candies, it's like going back to the 90s, the British ORP mixed candy individually wrapped, which used to come in a foil bag, very much like that. Very good quality, very high quality sweets, much better than the more modern British versions, and a very, very enjoyable candy. So overall, very pleasing, very enjoyable civilian ration. So I'm going to leave it here. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe and hit that notification button for future videos coming very soon. Now thank you and goodbye.